What's up, Moon Lords? We're back with another AMC weekly financial astrology update, and I think this week's going to be a roller coaster ride. But before we get started, watch this clip from last week. This is a full moon. This is a climax. This is a ending and beginning type energy. It's very, very tough to say, but what I can say is even though we have all this Mars energy going on, typically, two double square Mars like that is typically not the best, but in general, Mars just creates that energy, that a lot of tension. So there's going to be a lot of force, a lot of energy for this full moon on AMC. Now, the saving grace that I really, really like about this is the fact that Jupiter is still conjunct Neptune, 0 degrees, taking care of legal matters, taking care of the things behind the scenes. But look what's happening to Neptune now. During this full moon, sure, it's getting the square from Mars. The moon is square Mars, the sun is square Mars, but look what's also happening to Neptune. It is getting the trine to the sun and it's getting the sextile to the moon while getting the conjunction to Jupiter, okay? So whatever does happen on Thursday, we could be dealing with deception, okay? Because we have to use our third eye when we have this Neptune. Neptune is lit right now, okay? So what is our intuition telling us? What is our third eye telling us, okay? It's telling us not to focus on what's just being seen, and it's telling us to focus on what's not being seen, to see past the illusion. I call myself Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Neptune sees through the illusions, okay? So if we do get some serious warfare on Thursday after the full moon, don't be fooled by the deception. Don't be fooled by the illusion. Okay, because Neptune is taking care of business. And I said when Jupiter goes direct in October, and it's going to hit that Neptune again after October. Yeah, like this is, if I don't know. I mean, there's just bullish energy long term for this chart. When all these planets, I've been telling the Moon Lords, like when we have in March, I want to say of 2022, we're going to have like 6 planets in this first house. Last time we had 4 planets here. That's when we had the first squeeze in January. It wasn't even a squeeze. It was FOMO. Okay. But, Thursday we have a shift of energy for that full moon. And another thing I want to say about the full moon, there's been a bunch of times where we get we have the climax the day before the full moon, 2 days before the full moon. Then on the full moon, we get a nasty drop. But remember, the drop is nothing but the same pattern that is always done. If we get one on the full moon or day after the full moon. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, so I talked about the last week full moon and the moon phase analysis video, so I'm not going to focus on it too much here. But I do want to mention the moon phase analysis is just one equation of many different forms of DD we can do in the stock market. You got technicals, you got fundamentals, you got financial astrology, you got momentum, you got segment. So, you have to remember that this channel is for merging the matrix with the stars, okay? So we're pulling the moon phase analysis for more information, but we need to use that information along with all the other information we have, okay? So sure, we had a full moon. Sure, on most full moons we pop, but I clearly said in the AMC video for the moon phase analysis that we needed the certain setup. We didn't have it, okay? And then in the star video, when we go over all the stars, I literally said Monday looks good, but we're entering a Jupiter retrograde, so we might go down. But if that's the case, we're going to go up on Tuesday. We went up on Tuesday, reversed. And then I said on Wednesday also looks good, but we went positive, but it was like 0.05 positive. And then on Thursday, I said, we start running into bad energy. I said that in the video, and I warned us that we could get a dip. So there's really no reason why anyone should be worried, okay? And the stars told me what I needed to know, okay? I saw different scenarios playing out. I mentioned all the scenarios, just like 1 or 2, or maybe 3, whatever. But for the most part, they played out kind of the way I saw it. So everything is good. And we all have to remember that no matter what, AMC is like chilling in the 50s, guys. If history repeats itself, we're going to be chilling there for a minute and then we're going to have another pop. But we're already winning. We have to remember that. And we also have to remember that the stock market game is literally about the emotions. And we simply have to control our emotions and stick to the plan, stick to the structure, which is all that Capricorn is about. That full moon in Capricorn is about structure. It's about planning, okay, and staying disciplined. And guess what? We're about the next full moon is also going to be a Capricorn full moon. But okay, let's jump into the stars. We're going to go by play analysis. I know we're in a waning moon phase now, but listen, that doesn't mean we're not going to get a pop. We had pops in a waning phase before. I'm just saying, if we were to go in this waning phase of the moon and we pop and we go to another level, that's great. But I'm always going to stick to my guns when I say we're going to get bigger pops during a waxing moon. So if we have a good waning phase period, to me, that's awesome. I'm going to enjoy the money, but I'm definitely going to know better to say, okay, this is the squeeze or this is the highest we're going to go. Because the highest we're going to go is going to happen around a full moon time, at the very least around a waxing time. And yeah, that's like 100% certain for me. Anyway, if you guys are new here and like this content, don't forget to subscribe, because we go over AMC's financial astrology aspects every single week to but to predict price action. And listen, my work speaks for itself. All right. So go back to my past videos. You can see what's good. The Moon Lords knows what's up. And if you are a Moon Lord and haven't checked us out at our Discord, check us out at the Moon Lord Discord at the Market Moon Lord. It is popping, all sorts of DD going down there, past astrology, past what I do, past the Matrix. Check it out. Don't miss out. And if you like this content and you want to show support, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go by the main themes of AMC for this next coming week, starting on June 28th. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be going over the main themes for AMC this week. We have Monday pulled up, June 28th, and we have market open 9:30 a.m. The very, very, very first thing I'm going to point out is the fact that we're now officially in a Neptune retrograde, and you guys know I mess with Neptune heavy. Neptune's my guy. But yeah, Neptune retrograde isn't necessarily the best thing we want to see, because retrograde is a time of redoing, reanalyzing, reflecting. It's not necessarily a direct energy of forward momentum, right? However, that's just one aspect going on the opening day on Monday. That actually happened on Friday, late Friday, but now we're in a full day of it, and we're definitely in the energy of Neptune retrograde. By the way, I am going to be doing a video with this very special guest on this Neptune retrograde and this Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, which is very, very interesting, not just for the stock market, but in general. Okay, so we're in a Neptune retrograde, and one thing I want to point out about this Neptune is that Neptune has been squaring Mercury for the longest time. You guys remember that, how it was squaring Mercury over here? It's not squaring Mercury anymore, and now it's making a trine to the midheaven of AMC, and we know the midheaven is the company reputation. It's the highest point of the chart. So when you get a trine from Neptune, and Neptune's going retrograde, to me that signifies that we are taking care of business behind the scenes, but there's still a lot of deception going on, but we are winning, and we're going to get that revealed to us probably closer to when Neptune goes direct. But the fact that it's a positive angle to the midheaven, we're taking care of the deception. Deception is getting taken care of, and things are happening behind the scenes that we're not seeing, but Neptune is taking care of business, especially with that retrograde. It's almost like all that deception that's been happening on AMC. It's like, okay, now Neptune's going to go through all that illusion, and it's about to reveal the deception. So I really like that Neptune's going retrograde right there. But that could also signify not forward momentum on the price. On the prices of the stock market, but I'm not too worried about it because Neptune is an outer planet, so it's not like a Mercury going retrograde where it's going to have like a direct impact. Okay, so let's go over where the moon is. The moon is currently 27 degrees in Aquarius, and let's go over some of the few times the moon's been here because it's actually a very interesting place. On June 15th, on July 15th, we went +6. On February 12th, we went negative 0.36, so nothing, pretty neutral. March 11th, which was a waning period of the moon. So check this out. We went +4%, followed by +11%, followed by +25%. On April 7th, we went -3%. On May 4th, we went -3%. And then when it happened on June 1st, that's when we went +22%. And then the very next day, we went +95%. So, yeah, this is a very interesting place for the moon to kick us off on Monday. I do like that just on that data. We got to remember every time it's here, right, that within this day, it's going to hit this Jupiter right here. And the last time it did that was June 1st, followed by the 22%, followed by the 95%. So we're actually going to have the same situation happening on Monday and then coming into Tuesday. So that's very interesting. The only difference between last time and this time, Jupiter is now retrograde. Okay. It wasn't retrograde the first time that happened. But still, that's still very bullish to me because of what happened the very last time. Now, we still have the Venus opposition to Venus, but it's also opposite the ascendant now, and it's more exact to the ascendant. So let's see if we can get different results with that. That looks very good for anything happening with business deals, anything happening with mergers, anything happening with the with the movie entertainment business, the artist. Venus is the artist. That's also money. Okay, so maybe since Venus is looking directly at the ascendant now, and before it was kind of looking more directly at Venus, which would have been in the 12th house. Now it's in the first house looking at the first house, right? So maybe this is a good indication that Venus is going to start shooting us money. Now look at what's happening with the sun. It has a square to Uranus and it has a square to Mars. I don't like that. And typically when the sun's here, for whatever reason, it doesn't always, I think I know why. The sun is a hot planet. The moon is a watery planet and it's in a watery sign. So it kind of can burn things up. Okay. And when it hits Mars, it's extra fuel to that fire. And so this to me does signify volatility with Mars energy and Uranus energy, and Uranus is trine Mars. So there's a lot of Mars energy, a lot of Uranus energy, and the sun is paying attention to both Mars and Uranus. So volatility Monday is almost guaranteed with all of this. Now, two other things that also says that we're going to get some volatility is the moon or Saturn is not getting aspected by anything, and nor is the transiting Saturn. So whenever that's not happening, it's like a pass to get stronger movement. Last week, even though we had good energy, there were still those Saturn aspects, and it almost happens every time. It's like no matter what, it's a slower pace, more steady energy. Okay, Saturn's not getting aspected, so I do expect Monday to be volatile. And if we do have a big run Monday, based on what happened last time with where the moon is, and it's going to start entering Pisces, not to mention on Monday, the moon is sextile the sun. If we have good price action Monday, I'm pretty certain that energy is going to go into Tuesday. Food for thought. I have 5:30 p.m. pulled up on Monday. And that's when the moon will go exactly on top of Pisces. So on Monday, the moon goes from the most powerful degrees of 29th degree of Aquarius to 0 degree of Pisces. And then just to make a conjunction after hours on Jupiter, which we know Jupiter represents expansion. This Jupiter is retrograde, but hey, I'm definitely keeping my eyes out for after market hours on Monday. Let's jump into Tuesday. Okay, so we had a lot of shifts of energy coming into Tuesday. First of all, Mars is no longer getting aspected on any direction. And look at Venus. Venus is no longer making an opposition to the ascendant. So a shift of energy, and the sun is only squaring Uranus now, and it's getting a tighter conjunction to the moon. Now, the sun is pretty neutral in this position. Mars not getting aspected. Lately, when Mars is doing his thing, we're getting more cuts than positivity. So I'm starting to think I'm going to have to start treating Mars like Saturn, but Saturn is not that much volatility, but usually not upward momentum. Mars is a lot of volatility, and it's starting to look like it's more going towards that downside. So not getting hit by Saturn, not getting any aspects to Mars coming into Tuesday. I like that. And I also, I don't mind that Venus is no longer making that opposition. And I definitely don't mind that the sun is no longer squaring Mars. I still think the fact that it's squaring Uranus is still going to make things volatile. I can say the last time the moon was in this exact position is the day we went plus 95%. Okay, on June 2nd. And the moon in this degree of Pisces always makes a trine to the moon and a sextile to transformative Pluto. So yeah, I do think Tuesday looks really, really, really good to me. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of new information that comes out, because Pluto deals with secrets. Pluto deals with information, resources, and getting that sextile from the moon 0 degrees to me is pretty bullish for some type of transformation, some type of new information. And I wouldn't be surprised, since Pluto deals with takeovers and investing, if we have some, bigger hedge funds potentially participating in the whole AMC movement. All right. So yes, I like what I see for Tuesday. Let's jump into Wednesday. This week is jam-packed, but before I start talking about Wednesday, I have to mention, when I say like I'm going to use Mars in this way on AMC, and I'm going to treat it more as a situation where most cases, good or bad, it's more of a signal of not the best price movement. That doesn't apply to any other stock in the market, okay? This is how AMC reacts. And I've been tracking AMC long enough to say something like this, okay? And AMC does have a weak Mars, because the Mars is in Libra. That's opposite of where it wants to be, opposite of its home of Aries, okay? So maybe that has a reason of why Mars doesn't always give us good results. But I just want to give that disclaimer. You can't apply all these rules to every stock. It depends if the stock is responding in that way or not. And especially when it comes to the moon, okay? Because I mentioned in my moon phase video on how to use the moon for trading. It's only if the stock was IPO'd around a new moon, full moon. Those are the only ones that are really trading with the moon. So keep that in mind, okay? And yeah, before we get into Wednesday, if you made it this far in this video and haven't dropped a like and want to show some support, I would appreciate it if you do. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because we do a financial astrology analysis on AMC each and every week, and we've been doing this since the beginning. Shout out to the Moon Lords. Check us out at the Discord at the Market Moon Lord. DD that you can't get anywhere else is going down there. Okay, so we have Wednesday pulled up, June 30th, and we come into a whole nother energy again. I mean, this week is just action packed. Okay, so first thing is, yeah, we now have a Mars sextiling Venus, so volatility right off the bat with that one. We look at the sun, and the sun is now making a more exact square to Uranus right here. Volatility again, 0 degrees, and then it's opposite Pluto. And, that's Pluto's transformation, sudden changes, takeovers, money, investing, desires, things happening behind the scenes. So I'm expecting something to go on there. And we know the company reputation, the company CEO has a lot to do with the sun sign. And it's now on the moon sign. And we know the moon has a lot to do with the management as well, and the masses, the people. So this to me is an indication that we could see some news from Adam or from AMC in general. And hey, this definitely looks like some type of warfare type energy too. Pluto is a warrior as well as the higher octave of Mars, or the lower octave of Mars, whichever one you want to call that. Now, another thing that I'm really excited for coming into Wednesday, June 30th, is what's happening to Mercury right here. Now, remember, Mercury went retrograde, so it's hitting the same spots it just hit previously, okay? So look at what's happening. We got a Mercury opposite Mercury. You guys know when Mercury gets aspect on an AMC, good or bad, that's a good signal to me most of the time, okay? So I really like the fact that Mercury is coming into Wednesday, getting aspected to me. Makes me excited, to say the least. I know we have some Mars energy. I know we have some sun energy. I know the sun is conjunct this watery moon over here, but this Mars and this Mercury, opposite Mercury, makes me pretty optimistic for Wednesday. The last time Mercury was here, remember, Mercury went retrograde, so it was here on May 17th, and that day we went +7, so I do like that. Now, the next thing I want to point out is where the moon is hitting, is making that exact conjunction to Neptune, which is very interesting because now Neptune is retrograde, but I can say a lot of times this hits in this exact spot over the weekend, but the last 3 times it hasn't happened. On April 9th, we went -9%. On May 7th, we went +5%. And then on June 2nd, which is the very last time it happened, we went +95%. Neptune wasn't retrograde though. Okay, so now it's happening here with Neptune retrograde. So it could give us the reverse effect. Okay, that's what the R is for. It's retrograde. Okay, it's like restriction. However, if we get some type of climax catalyst news, obviously I think it's going to push us forward. Okay, this Mercury, opposite Mercury, to me, in the Sun action, to me looks like we could be getting news. So if we get some good positive news, obviously I think this is going to take us high. Okay, and based upon the fact that Mercury here last time gave us a +7%, and the very last time the moon was here gave us a +95%. I'm very optimistic, although this time we have 2 extra retrogrades that we didn't have before, which would be the Jupiter and the Neptune. So what are you guys thinking so far? Are you guys bullish for this week? Is any of this stuff matching up with you guys' DD? I'm very, very curious on the overall energy of the market moon lords and of whoever may be watching on what you guys think is going to happen next week, because I'm very, very curious. We got so much Pisces energies and retrograde energies. I mean, this is getting very complicated to try to see what's going to happen when every other week we're getting a new retrograde. So yeah, I'm curious on what you guys think. And if you made it this far in this video, have subscribed and like this content, go ahead and subscribe. And if you guys want to show support, hit that like button. Okay, so let's jump into Thursday. Thursday does not look that favorable to me. We come right into a Mars opposite the moon, 0 degrees, and Mars is already getting touched by Venus over here, 0 degrees. So yeah, that's a very climax type energy. The moon typically lately has been over the weekend in this position, so it's kind of hard to track, but June 4th it wasn't, and we went -6. And then when it happened in December, we went -3. When it happened in November 25th, we went +6%. When it happened on the 29th of October, we went -3. So it is kind of volatile to the negative side. And yeah, I mean, that's probably because it's always hitting that Mars. So if I had to guess, Thursday isn't the best day out of all the days so far. We still have this Mercury opposite Mercury that's getting tighter. So maybe, I wonder news all week, probably this week. Okay. I think the news is definitely going to be driving the price action for the most part this week. But yeah, Thursday doesn't look the most ideal, basically because of this opposition to Mars over here. And another thing is happening, if you look at the sun is also making a square to Uranus, and then it's conjunct the moon over here. And then when let's go 6 hours ahead of time, the moon then I'm at 3:30, so right before close, right? The moon then makes an exact conjunction to Uranus, and then an exact square to the moon, and a square to Pluto. So this looks very quick moving like energy. It is happening in the moon in Aries too on top of that, which also is a very fast moving energy. So I definitely expect some really, really strong, potentially violent price action coming into Thursday. Let's jump into Friday. I tell you what, I actually hate giving bad news to you guys because I feel like I'm spreading FUD. And listen, no matter what happens, I'm planning on going to the blue moon of Neptune in this situation, okay? So I'm bullish long term no matter what. I'm just telling you guys what the stars say. Do you guys want me to be more harsh? Do you guys want me to say, like, no, that just does not look good? Or do you guys want me to do what I normally do and say, this doesn't look good, but I could see this happening because of this, blah, blah, blah. Because that's how I like to do it. Because I just hate saying like, this looks bad. But sometimes, things don't look great, but I can say coming to Friday, I'm super excited for Friday. And it's kind of funny because Fridays are usually those days we get attacked the most. But Friday, AMC is making one of my favorite positions, and that is the moon trine Mercury. Now, I'm not going to talk about what it does here because I've talked about this exact position several times in previous videos. Let's just say we've seen a lot of good price movement whenever this happens, okay? And this is exact. Am I still? Yeah, I'm at 3:30. So this is happening at 3:30 power hour exact, okay? So let me jump to 9:30 real quick. Okay, I'm glad I did it because look at the moon coming in at market open on Friday at 9:30 a.m. It is making a square to Jupiter, okay? It's 0 degrees at that. So Friday looks intense. Okay, Friday definitely looks intense. It's got the square to Jupiter, but that Jupiter represents expansion, and Jupiter to me gets that pass. I mean, Jupiter is the most beneficial planet, the most lucky planet, the most expansive planet of the zodiac. Okay, so even when you're getting bad aspects to Jupiter, it still can give you really good results. And again, when the moon is getting this trine to Mercury, yeah. I'm super bullish, and that's a great way to end the week off because I've been seeing a lot of news for this week, and look, now we get the favorite trine that I love. This is like my absolute favorite trine, the absolute favorite position on Mercury in AMC is this exact moment right here. Well, later in the day at 3:30, actually when it's actually 0 degrees. But when that happens, that's going to happen. 0 degrees trine to the moon, and then we're going to get a or I don't know if this is 0. Let me see. A -1 degree Mercury opposite Mercury. Okay. So yeah, I'm really bullish for news this week. I'm really bullish for news this week. Another thing that happened is look at Uranus on this day. Uranus is looking a little bit better because now it's getting the trine to Venus. So Venus is pretty active this week. It started the week opposite the ascendant, then it went neutral, then it sextiled Mars, and now it's trine Uranus on Friday. So I'm very, very optimistic for this Friday, especially compared to most Fridays. Okay, the sun is still doing all the same stuff it's been doing all week, but now it's more exact conjunction to the moon. So this does look like a climax type energy coming into Friday. It is opposite Pluto, quick movement. It could go either way with that type of energy. It could be fast, it could be sudden, it can be violent. Sun square Uranus, same thing, very, very volatile. The best thing, though, I see about this day is obviously this moon trine Mercury. Okay, so tell me, guys, what do you guys think about Friday? Do you guys see any news coming in for Friday or for this week? I mean, I'm very curious this week, especially more so than most weeks, on what you guys think, because this week looks very, very interesting. It's like every single day we're hitting another shift of energy. This looks like it's about to be a very roller coaster type ride, but we will see. I'm very, very, very excited. Go ahead and hit that like if you guys haven't yet, and if you're new, please subscribe. If you guys want DD like this, you literally aren't going to be able to get any DD like this anywhere else. And if you guys are looking for more DD like this, even past what I'm doing, check us out at the Market Moonlord. It's going down, and shout out to all the Market Moonlords. I really, really appreciate you guys, each and every one of you guys. Good luck to next week. I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. This is another AMC financial astrology update that we do each and every week. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.